the allotment this week, start of a new year, and we harvested a few carrots and a couple of parsnips and a cabbage. And it set me wondering about whether anybody else actually recorded what they harvested each year. For the last good few years now, we weighed all our crops when we get them back home. We started way back in 2011 recording all our harvests, and then in 2014 I thought it'd be sort of a reasonable idea just to see if we actually recovered the costs of our allotment in the produce we harvested. We got 5 plots, and back then they were about £60 each a year, so that was sort of a £300 outlay just for the plots. Sort of added something for seeds, and I just wondered sort of if we checked how much we actually took off the plot, would we cover the costs? Or it didn't particularly bother me because I quite enjoy my allotment. It's a hobby, I don't do it to make money or to save money. Anyway, that year we harvested, we weighed everything, and on trips to the supermarket around the same time we just checked what a supermarket was selling, produce out of cabbage, cauliflower, some fruit, whatever. Added it all up at the end of the year just to see if we were in pocket or out of pocket. What we harvested came to just 2,100 and a few, £2,100 or thereabouts. So we were easily in pocket. I didn't really have to go into any more calculations, and I don't see any reason for doing it again. There are a few drawbacks if you're trying to do it, in that you might tend to leave crops to mature a little bit. You might not pick the beans when they're at the best because you want to get a bit of a heavier crop. Such is life, but now we don't. We just harvest things at their best, weigh them up, just so we can have a comparison year on year, just to see what does well one year, how badly it can do another year. Which year do we have our best crop like? This year we know from past records that we've had more green gauges this year than we've had totalled up over the previous years since we planted the green gauge trees. So once we get home, the idea is that we get everything weighed up. So we don't do anything super accurately. I've just got a little paper pad, a pen, and we've got some of those sort of balance scales, weigh scales that you'd use for your luggage if you're going on holiday. And we've got sort of some buckets that had fat balls in for birds, goes in there, weigh up what's in there and knock off 150 grams for the bucket. That gets written down on the paper, and it doesn't take long really to work through what we've got. It's a bit of a pain if it happens to be freezing cold or we get back and it's raining, but just put it to the garage and do it in the garage and weigh it up. It doesn't take long. If we've got harvests in punnets, which we tend to have in summer when it's raspberries and strawberries, we just weigh the punnets on the kitchen scales. I don't particularly bother about the weight of the punnet in that case. So I now have a notepad that's got harvests in for quite a good few years. So this is my little notebook with all the weighs in there. There's the last ones we did. As you can see, some from October, harvesting tomatoes and grapes, quinces, carrots, all sorts of stuff in there. Going back to September time. weight of the crown pin squashes on the right hand side. Charlotte potatoes there, look, added up. Goes back plenty of years. There's the start of this year, and I think the ones on this right hand side are what you'll see me adding into our spreadsheet. So to be a bit technical, once everything's in the book, it then goes into a spreadsheet. So you can see above where I'm adding information in now. All our produce for the year is added in date order. Excel's quite clever, it remembers what you put in, so you don't have to type everything in each time. So there's an easy way to bob the date in once you've put it in once. You can see, say, our carrots come up into the next row, just AU, and it goes the autumn king, kilograms, and the weight goes in. And if I've got any comments, they just get added into the next column. And as you'll spot from this, I'm no touch typist, but it doesn't take me long to add the information in, and it's then left in this format for most of the year. Amazing how many times you can spell winter before you get it right. And then finally, it's just parsnips to go in, gladiator quite quickly, weight kilograms, and the weight of the parsnips. Now this is where the clever bit starts, because you can now do all sorts of clever things. So first of all, these get added into a little table to put in my website. So those 3 cells are added into these, but as you can see they're not quite in order, so I'm going to sort these quickly now into date, harvested and variety. So there we are, carrots, leeks and parsnips, and then they'll get added into my website. It's a little table with a few photographs. Now the advantage of having things in a spreadsheet is that we can now do some tricky things and sort out this information and get much more useful information. So instead of date order, I'm now going to list it out, so everything harvested is listed. Then I'm going to sort harvested by the variety, so different varieties of carrot, and finally I'll put them back into date order. Click OK, and now you'll see that all our tomatoes are listed with all the varieties next to them and the dates they were harvested. But we don't have to stop there, we can do more clever things. If we go up to the top of the spreadsheet and along to where it says subtotals, and now what we want to do is at each change where a different harvest is done, we don't want to count, we want to sum things up. And what we want to sum is that value, that weight in kilograms. So we click in there and unclick comments, and we click OK. And now we've got all our raspberries in order with total there. So you can see raspberries this year we picked 9.381 kilograms. But it would be nice to know how much we picked of each variety. So if we now go back to our little table, change harvested to variety, we still want to sum it, we still want to sum the value, we don't want to replace what we've already got, and we click OK. We now have all our harvested list separated by variety, with each variety totalled up. So all gold raspberries we had 1.1 kilogram, that's in there. Black raspberry is 0.896, and then down at the bottom we can see our raspberry total for this year was 9.381 kilograms. Now whilst I use Excel, there are some spreadsheets out there that don't cost anything. You can probably use them on your computer. You just have to spend a little while getting used to how to do things, and if you're like me, you learn most of your gardening techniques off YouTube. You'll find you will be able to find most of what you want to do in a spreadsheet from YouTube. So that's it then, that's how we sort out our harvesting list and record everything we've harvested. And as I say, we've only once priced all our harvests up. We now assume that we make a profit, and we just enjoy the challenge of seeing how we get on each year with the different crops. Thanks for watching, or rather listening.